I agree with the idea of mass deportation, largely. You have criminals in this country who are destroying our nation. They're coming in here, getting earmarked bills and policies to open up businesses, get free housing, get access, easier access than those who are legally immigrated to this country to welfare and other benefits. So, like, as a taxpayer, we have to pay for these guys to have luxuries of life, and we don't get anything, especially black Americans who've suffered so much in the system under Democrats. We don't get anything. That's insane. You talked about Springfield, Ohio, and the whole thing with the fluff talk of, oh, grabbing the soundbite about Haitians or whatever is eating cats and dogs. Y'all trying to change the narrative of what he's really talking about. Change the narrative of really what we're talking about and telling us that's what we should be discussing. No, this here, this is what we're discussing. This here, this is America. And this is what America is about and what we're discussing.
Well, it looks like Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party may be in trouble in my city, the city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia is one of the blackest cities in America and it has a long, rich history of black history. You know, it was once known as the Harlem Renaissance before the Harlem Renaissance. Philadelphia was a place where a lot of affluent blacks lived and where a lot of blacks would flee the South and come to Philadelphia for freedom. So we always had a very large black population. And Black Philadelphia, this presidential go around, a lot of people are no longer feeling the Democratic Party. We're asking questions about gentrification. We're asking questions about the immigration policies and what is Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia, Logan, Germantown, Mount Airy, all these South Philly. What in the next 5 to 10 years, what are these communities going to look like if we keep allowing a lot of these immigrants to enter the United States? And then you have policies where you have money allocated for them and not our communities, the disenfranchised communities, right? These are questions that we've been specifically asking the Democratic Party because for years we haven't pledged any allegiance to the Republicans. We've been pledging allegiance to the Democrats. But there's one thing going on now that's surprising to me. A lot of black women are starting to listen. And they're starting to now pull away from Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party. If y'all don't believe me, check this out.
What are your feelings, and let me start with the women here, about Kamala Harris?
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president
That's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes.
Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
This is a thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, you know, Kamala Harris became black when it was convenient.
Right.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her blackness?
Absolutely. When she's sworn into the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, and like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
We're now having black women questioning the motives of the Democratic Party. And I told you guys for years, you know, when my auntie would take me down to the voting polls, she told me who to vote for. I voted Democrat because that's what I believed that we were supposed to do. We've always religiously voted for the Democratic Party. But as I started to get older, I started asking the questions, why are these same buildings still dilapidated and broken down? You know, why is all of our school teachers are white, but we live in all black neighborhoods? You know, when I was growing up, you didn't see W people for miles. You know, and some of these things were confusing to me. Why is our community so crack-ridden and destroyed? And just, you know, you start asking questions, looking around and saying, wait a minute. When I go out to Darby, or I go out to these other communities, their communities don't look like this, right? And you start questioning the Democratic Party. And a lot of times when we ask those questions, a lot of the women or your mama or your aunties, they will shut you down. But now in 2024, in this election, a lot of women are asking questions. A lot of women is holding Kamala Harris accountable. And they're questioning, not me, they're questioning her blackness. And this is going on the ground in Philadelphia. Black Philadelphia is asking questions. And a lot of times people get offended, but we're not disrespecting the Democratic Party. We're asking that this party, who we've been loyal to, blind loyalty for the last 60 years. We're not even talking about the Republicans right now, right? We're asking questions to the Democrat Party. Now, a lot of brothers and sisters are saying we're going Republican now because we've given you our allegiance. But a lot of these sisters wasn't finished. It wasn't just these sisters. Check this out.
I believe Trump is going to win because, first off, when people say bad things about him, where does that affect us down here? That doesn't affect our neighborhoods. It has never affected our neighborhoods. We don't even get to see half the things that go on that level.
We know that he's going to win because he is the best for America. He's worried about our economy.
The crime is high. Yes. The violence is high. The schools are bad. Yes. We can go on and on. Where Democrats have been in charge for 40 years.
We're voting for Donald Trump unequivocally. Period. No one else is going to persuade us. We 2 weeks out, and we won't sleep until November the 6th.
So you know who you're voting for?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump, definitely.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
He's more strong-minded in a way. He's focused on what we got to focus on. Like, he doesn't play. That's what I respect about him.
He doesn't play?
Yeah, he doesn't play. He always just stands for what he believes, and he doesn't go back. No matter how many people are bashing him, no matter people is criticizing him, nothing.
He doesn't take BS. He's not going to hear it. He's a businessman. He's not there for the fluff talk of politics. We need someone strong. We need someone who's going to get down to business and take care of what this country needs, but also understands what the community needs.
The thing is, we were scared in the beginning because he said he's going to nuke Korea and he's going to nuke Iran, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that. The stock market went up. There were more.
Up pretty high right now too.
Well, you know, but the thing is, because there was no inflation back then. Democrats take granted, especially minorities. They take for granted because they think Republicans are so out of touch with the minorities' needs, so they don't have any choice. And I think that's going to be a big surprise.
You got pockets that there's an energy for Mr. Trump in the city, but a lot of people just walking down the street, they not feeling the Democrats from time to time, not sure if they're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
They may not vote at all. The black men that don't vote for Democrats, it's not what Mr. Trump did, is what have been disappointed with. I'm not a dedicated Republican. I'm voting for the lesser two evils this time, being Mr. Donald Trump.
So you saw young people expressing themselves. The young lady saying why she's voting for Trump. The young man who can articulate himself very well. He was speaking and explaining his situation. Then you saw a couple immigrants saying the same thing, right? But then there was a black man at the end of that video, and he said he's not really a supporter of the Democratic Party, but he's going to vote for the lesser of two evils. So he's going to support Donald J. Trump in this 2024 election in November. He's voting for Trump, and that's a serious, you know, because they're down here talking to the grassroots. They're not talking to these people that they pay to come talk. They're in the trenches in West Philadelphia talking to the grassroots people, getting the opinions of the grassroots people. But then they went to the barbershop And they sat down and talked to some brothers in the barbershop. And it went something like this.
And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, like what they thought of that.
I was deeply offended. I was deeply offended. And it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop. I'm tired of it.
So let me say this, right? You know, the Democratic Party has done a horrible job coming down to talk to the grassroots folk. And I know why. In places like Philadelphia, Detroit, Chicago, Newark, New Jersey, right? Coming down Brooklyn, New York, Harlem, coming down and talking to the grassroots black folk, grassroots black men. They've done a horrible job. And see, and when they go into West Philadelphia and talk to these grassroots brothers and sisters, this is what you get. Because they know that a large portion of the black community is fed up with the Democratic Party because we've given our support. And we've been constantly disrespected by policy and just the total ignorance of our voices. Our voices have went on deaf ears. Now, those that are in a high level of the tax bracket, it may benefit them as Democrats because they get the things that they may need. But for those of us, the blue collar, hard working, everyday brother and sister that get up and go to work every day to punch that clock, the Democratic Party has ignored our communities. Totally ignored our communities. There's policies that should be set in place that's on the books that's supposed to protect us. Under Obama, we've had more police unalivings. And the Democratic Party, in a lot of instances, did nothing. Now, there's some justices that we've gotten under the Democratic Party, but there's more injustices than justices. And these are the things that we've been talking about. What about these executive orders that's put on the books, that's been on the books for the last 75 years, that's supposed to be specifically for our community? And the Democratic Party has turned around and turned these things into people of color when they were supposed to be specifically for the Negro, the African American community. They did it right in front of our faces. So now black people are starting to be aware of these things and they're asking questions. And the only thing I'm telling my people, vote for who you want to vote for. I am not here by no means to tell you who you should vote for. If you want to vote for Kamala, fine. But if you're going to continue to vote for the Democratic Party, ask questions about policies. Ask them about executive orders that's on the books and why you are not a protected class in this country. Why you don't have when they have executive orders on the books already to protect you, why is it the federal government enforcing state law to protect the African American community from a whole host of things? And we've given our support to the Democratic Party. I expect it. And it has been a colossal failure on many different fronts and levels. And our support, unwavering support to the Democratic Party. Now, the Republicans have been no better because I can go through a whole history of the failures of the Republican Party before we got to the Democratic Party. But in this video, we're talking about our unwavering support for the last 60 years to the Democratic Party. So I'm telling black people, whoever you give your vote to for whoever's policies suit your need, not just because you hate Trump. That's ignorant. And that's not what our grandparents fought for. That's not what the civil rights movement was about. That's not what they marched for. It's not about, because Trump can say things that you don't like, but the Democrats can have policy set in place that's been affecting your life. Wake up, my people. Wake up. I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all till the next time. Peace. And lastly, that Project 25, read it. And read what Trump's policy is about. Stop letting these people just fearmonger you and just run anything on you. Because I'll say this. That's a lie what the Democrats is running out. But when it comes to some of Trump's appeals court judges and federal judges, I don't agree with. But when it comes to Ketanji Brown and some of the Democrat judges and some of their policies on pushing this letter crew. I don't agree with that either. So you have to find the policies that match you. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.